good morning, everybody. We are here for our session with TCCA today. We're so excited. And I'm Elizabeth Meeker. I'm going to be your host today. Tiana Rodriguez is our co-host, and she'll be helping answer questions or ask your questions for you. So please type all of your questions in the chat. You will be receiving your certificates today through email, but at the very end of this presentation, there will be a super secret keyword that you will get to unlock that certificate so you can print it and have it for all your proof of attendance. Today, I'm very excited because we have Misty Schattle and Meredith Derrick, and they are here to tell us some wonderful and exciting things today. So I'm going to turn everything over to them, and be sure to type in anything you need in the chat. All right, ladies, it's all yours.
Thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys so you can see our presentation.
Yes. Good morning, everyone.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know why it's taking so long.
It's okay.
2020. That's what I keep saying. 2020.
The 2020 sprinkle is what we were using the other day.
Yes. So we've created a bit.ly down at the bottom that you can type in if you want to follow along with us or access this content later. There also, if you're using your cell phone, you can scan the QR code and it'll take you directly to our presentation as well. We've tried to make things as easy for you as possible to follow along. So
Okay.
there's that. Just to tell you a little bit about us. My name is Misty Schattle. I have been in education. This is my 17th year. During this time, I've been a middle school social studies teacher. I've been an elementary librarian, and I've been a high school librarian. So currently, I'm at Tomball Memorial High School in Tomball ISD. I love books, and I love kids, and my most favorite thing of all is connecting kids with the right book. And I also really love research, so that's just fun too.
Yes. And my name is Meredith Derrick, and I am a school librarian. Also, this is my 12th year in Klein ISD. I've been a pre-K teacher, a kindergarten teacher, a first grade teacher, and a third grade teacher, and a librarian in that time. And I love books just like Misty does. It's kind of our not so secret favorite thing. I have a family. I have 3 wonderful children, one of which is trying to walk by me right now. But again, 2020 sprinkle. But that's me. And our information will be at the end of the slide deck if you have any questions afterwards that you have.
And just another little interesting tidbit, Meredith is actually my child's school librarian. So she's the librarian of the school that, the elementary that both of my children have attended. So that's been kind of cool, like really getting to know her through the lens of children, because my children come home and talk about her, which is really pretty great. So
good to hear. Hope all good things. All right. So our objectives for today, we're going to dig in and find ways to utilize digital resources to extend student learning. We're going to increase inquiry in students outside of the traditional classroom setting. And we're going to think about using innovative content to connect students with academic and emotional development. And Mr. Bonner kind of talked about that this morning in his keynote. Yeah, so we'll get to go on a little bit through that. All right, so we're going to do a quick little icebreaker, and we are going to use the chat to for you to put your responses in, okay? And so we are librarians, and we love books, and so we are going to put a picture up on the screen, and all you're simply going to do is put the name of the movie in the chat, and the first person to put the correct title of the movie in the chat will win a prize from us. All right, is it working?
That will be emailed to you.
Yes, it will be emailed. Yeah. Very true. It will be emailed to you. That is the beauty of the digital age. We can email your gifts right to you, and it's instant and awesome. All right. Can we see the comments? Okay, there go the comments. I had it on private chat. No wonder. All righty. So this is the first movie, and it is an adaptation from a book. So in the comments, in the chat, please put the title of this movie? I can't see it moving. Can you see it moving? Oh, okay, there it is. All right. Oh, they all came in at one time. And our first person was Jessica Clover Jackson. Awesome job. Yes, this is the wonderful story of Matilda. And if you have Freeform, it's been coming on all month long. All right, let's do the next one.
Okay. There we go.
All righty. Now you must get the entire title of this movie. The entire title. Wonderful. Leah's reading Matilda with her kids. Do you know the name of this movie, Miss Schattle?
I do not.
You do not. All right. Well, Alicia,
not a big superhero fan.
Martinez got it. She kind of has it flipped, but no, she has it right. Endgame. It's the Avengers Endgame. So Alicia Martinez is our winner for that one. Excellent job, Alicia. Next one. Oh, one of my favorite movies. It's a classic. What is this movie? Everybody should know this movie. Or maybe I shouldn't say that.
That might be dependent upon age.
Angelica Buns has guessed it correct. It is Forrest Gump, and it's right at the beginning when Forrest meets Jenny on the bus. All right, next one.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. That was my fault. I hit the wrong button. Sorry.
All right.
Okay. There we go. Sorry about that.
Everyone should be able to see the picture at the same time. I can't see your screen.
You can't?
No, I think you stopped sharing your screen.
No, it says it's supposed to.
Okay, there it is.
Is it there now?
It's up there. All righty. Here is our next movie. Waiting on the guests to come in. I see Trolls. Alicia Martinez got it again. It is Trolls World Tour. It is the second Trolls, not the first one. Ooh, Alicia's on it this morning. All right, next one. And I believe this is the last one. And again, we have to get the entire title to the story. I mean, the movie, sorry, not story. Well, story too, right? Yeah. I see Harry Potter, but which Harry Potter? All right, Jennifer De La, oh, I don't want to say her name wrong. De La, is it Walski? I hope that's right. I can't hear you, Jennifer, but hopefully that's how you say your name. She got it. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Excellent job. Thank you guys for participating in that. And if you go to the bit.ly link, down at the bottom of this slide is a form that you can fill out. And I am going to send it to the host. If you don't mind sharing it in the chat. For some reason, I cannot type in the chat. I'm not sure why. So the people whose names I called out, if you would fill out that form and we will send you your prize through your email. All righty. So we are school librarians, and we know that we are in the age of COVID right now, and it seems like, a huge weight has been put on our shoulders, but we want you to know the importance of school librarians. And so a couple of authors and illustrators got together to talk about how school librarians impacted their life. And we're just going to watch a short tidbit of this. You can't hear it. Is your sound turned all the way up, Misty?
Yes.
All right. Well, we can't hear it. We can't hear it very well. No, we can't hear it very well. It's all right.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
No, it's fine. So basically, some of the authors and illustrators talked about how their school librarian helped them to become the writers that they are, how one author said the school librarian would help her find the books about certain things that she had interest in, which was mostly nonfiction. And she uses that in her writing today. And so when you have time, you can go ahead and watch that video. It is 8 minutes long. We were only going to show about a minute of it. And you can just take the time to listen to the impact that your school librarians have on your students and on your teachers.
Yes. Okay, so librarians, we do this all the time. Honestly, whether we're trying to or not, we extend learning. And how do we do this? So during the height of COVID, when, you know, we weren't going to school at all, and we were all kind of saying, oh no, what do I do? What do I do? How can I help? You know, and in every school, it was like the role of the librarian was a little bit different, no matter if you were in the same district with other librarians or in other districts. I know I talked to friends across the state, and they were all doing different things, which, you know, was in a way somewhat frustrating, but also gave us room to be a little more creative, which was really kind of fun too. So the first thing that I did when I was like, oh no, what can I possibly do? I created I found all of the resources that I possibly could. Resources for reading and writing, resources for math, resources for science, resources for social studies, resources for any other type of learning. And I basically curated them into one spot, which I've linked for you. If it comes up. Let's see. So this was what I had created last year. Now these links at the moment are still live. Probably won't be for too much longer if honestly they're all still accurate as it is. So that's just something you can take a look at if you want to. Just lots of different resources to look at, which was really kind of neat. I know I like to get lost in the rabbit hole of like finding new things. So, I mean, I can't tell you how many hours I spent looking at stuff. Another thing you can do, you can have virtual office hours. I know my campus, we're currently on campus as well as virtual. So, you know, I don't actually have like, you know, specific office hours, but virtual office hours that you can set up as like a specific time. Like this is a specific time I'm going to be online answering questions from 3 to 4 every day or whatever. So that's just an easy way to go about being able to connect with all of your students, regardless of whether they're on campus or off campus, or if you have those hours available after the regular school hours, then all of your kids are off campus, honestly. So that's just something to think about. I know lots of universities that have been doing virtual learning forever. They have virtual office hours for their librarians. So, you know, if that's what they're going to be doing, you know, when they get to college, maybe those are practices we should start thinking about implementing on the regular now. So, also, I know lots of schools have curbside pickup with such a large number of students being off campus. It's really a good idea to have something in place for that. So what I do at my campus, I am there before and after school. And so any students that are not on campus, the ones that are on campus, I just look up their schedule and we take the books to them, whatever they request from us. If they're not on campus, all they have to do is email me, call me, coordinate with me, whatever time they're going to pick it up, whatever time they want to pick it up. And I make sure that I meet them at the front door to give it to them. So that's an easy way to do it. Meredith, I know you do something at your campus. What are you doing?
So for my for my online students, what we're doing is they're going in, they're putting their books on hold, and they're filling out a form for when they want to come and pick up books. And I put them in a special little baggie, and, you know, just sometimes it's hard for certain campuses to get, you know, parents to buy in on it. And so I'm putting gift certificates in that was donated by Gringos and by Canes and Whataburger in there if they, you know, just utilize the curbside service. And put it at the front office, and when they come to pick it up, it's right there. I know at some campuses they're putting it on a library cart and sitting it outside, because I know a lot of our local bookstores are doing it that way, and some of the public libraries are doing it that way also. But yeah, it's working out.
Okay, inquire. So school librarians are helping solve problems that teachers face with library resources.
Absolutely.
So I think that COVID has been, this time of COVID and quarantine has been a really great time for me to see what our teachers don't realize that we have.
Right.
So there's a lot that, like, they're coming to us and they're saying, oh, well, we have that? I didn't know we had that.
Right.
And so I think this is another time. I think 2020 has been the time for me to realize that grace needs to be extended to everyone. So, because I know sometimes I think to myself, what do you mean you didn't know we had that?
Mm-hmm.
But I know everybody's busy and we all have different priorities. And sometimes, we think as librarians, we think, well, our teachers should know this.
Mm-hmm.
I've told them this 500 times, but, sometimes we forget things. So, I like to try to remind myself, okay, sometimes I have to ask the same question 3 times too. So I'm going to just remember that they have lives outside of what I do in the library.
Right.
So research happens on every level, or at least it should in the school system. So there are different databases. Some, are provided at a fraction of the cost from the state.
Mm-hmm.
And then others, others school districts pay extra for. So as far as like research at the secondary level, I know we use Gale a whole lot. And at my current school, we're using JSTOR a whole lot, which JSTOR is one we've had to pay for on our own. And it's a very high level. It's a collegiate database. So my AP and dual credit students are the biggest group of students that are using the JSTOR database. But that's really been fun for me. So
Mm-hmm.
I've had a chance to really get in there and try to see what I can find, which is
you
fun.
like research.
I like research, yes. And another database that I want to mention that I think is really great, down at the bottom, down at the left-hand side, Learning Express. So anything test related, like I've recently signed up to take the GRE. So Learning Express actually has a lot of test prep materials for STAR, for the SAT, for the ACT, for the ASVAB, even GRE stuff. So any of you librarians or teachers out there that are looking to go to graduate school, you can access Learning Express and you can take all of the GRE practice tests that you can possibly imagine. It'll simulate taking the test for you. There's a learning module where you can start and stop and have it tell you all the things that you got wrong, how and why. So I just think that's a great resource that's at our fingertips that a lot of us don't even know is there.
Right.
A lot of your teachers, I'm sure, don't even know that it's there. And then it's not just for your students, it's for you as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
awesome. And so in the elementary level, and I see someone that mentioned Sora and Overdrive. So we use all of the Gale resources for research. Our GT students use all the Gale resources, probably the most, that and Britannica. And PebbleGo is a wonderful resource that is for students from K all the way, and now they have PebbleGo next, Misty. And so that goes all the way up to 6th grade. And our students end up, if there's an inside recess day, they're begging their teachers, can we get on PebbleGo? So they're just loving going in and learning about different kinds of animals and different types of people and places. It's just a wonderful resource for research, and it provides videos. Sometimes it provides timelines. And then it has extension sites. It's a wonderful, wonderful resource. Okay. And then we have ebooks. And again, like Misty said, some of them are provided at, a certain price, and some of them, are a little bit pricey. It just depends on what your district is working with you to provide. And so in Klein, where I am, we have Overdrive, we have Tumble Books, and we use Mackin and Capstone. Mackin via and Capstone links with PebbleGo. And so they're all, it's like a one-stop shop, which is nice for our students. And then our Overdrive is where all of our ebooks are housed right now. And Misty, you can talk a little bit about Sora. And it's simply just an app, which we're working on getting, and I'm excited about. And it It is where you can go in and you can add multiple libraries. So your students have access to more ebooks outside of your library. Again, going beyond the brick and mortar of your library is what we're striving to do, especially this year.
And I know, just to interrupt for just a second, I know that a lot of you guys are using Schoology now, because that seems to be the platform that most districts are using across the state. And Sora integrates with Schoology.
Did not know that, but I did find out yesterday that Gale integrates with Schoology also, and they have like a little tab or something on the side, so the students don't even have to leave Schoology. They can just click on it right from inside of theirs, if you guys are using Schoology in your districts. Okay, and so I know that some of these sources do allow for temporary use. I know a lot of them have offered the ability, for a free trial throughout the end of the year. So you might want to look into some of those things if your campus is not quite ready and willing to purchase just yet.
Okay, but just another little thing about databases. I know, like, especially if you're at the high school level, if you do anything with any of the classic literature, Project Gutenberg, which honestly, if you go through the public library Overdrive, you can always access Project Gutenberg books through Overdrive. But if you're ever just curious yourself, you can go to Project Gutenberg. It's a website, Project Gutenberg, I think, .org, and you can click there. You can download books that are in the public domain from Project Gutenberg, and you can download them to your Kindle or to whatever device you have, and you can read them yourself, or you can also read in browser. So I just recently did that about for a book that I just recently wanted to read, and that was the only place I could find it. So, because I wasn't willing to spend even 99 cents on it when I can read it for free. Right. So there you go.
Right. And what I will say, I noticed someone said about they're at a private school. One thing that I did to kind of try to get my teachers to buy in, I used my own public library login information to add Sora just on my phone. And I was trying to get this one particular teacher because she always wanted certain books, and she wanted it as an ebook so she could share it with her virtual students. And so I told her, get your public library card, download their ebooks, and just use it that way. It's still free, and then you still have access. So that's another avenue you could take to get access to them.
So another thing that we just wanted to mention, some tech help videos. Meredith, I know you were going to talk about.
So at was this at the start of COVID? I want to say yes. When we found out we weren't going back to school, a lot of our librarians gathered together, and we wanted our students to use our resources. We wanted our teachers to push our resources that we had available. And so the link in the slide deck takes you to, it's just a hub that is full of how-to videos on how to use each of the resources. So if your parents or your teachers are not sure, they want to start research, but they don't know how, they can, they have access to a how-to video for Britannica or for Gale or for PebbleGo or Overdrive. And so it's all there. And it's, there for anyone to use. You might not have, the login information, but if your school has those resources, then you'll use your own school's login information.
Okay. And so one thing that I just did, I wanted our students, by and large, so we would limit the number of hands touching books since we were having to quarantine everything that's coming back. I created a short video on how to put books on hold, how to reserve books, and then that we would then check out to them and deliver to students. So that's what's linked here if you wanted to take a look at how I've done that. And it's just a screencast video. So real short. I like to make things easy for our kiddos. So I've also given you a screenshot here of our online resources databases page that I have linked on my school website. And so specifically what I wanted to show you here is like I said, I want to make things so easy for everyone that there's no excuse. Like the only excuse for not being able to access our resources should strictly be that you don't have a computer with internet access. Like that to me is like the only excuse not to access what we have. So usernames and passwords are a big thing. You can't share those out online for everybody to see, because then you're in violation of your user agreement.
Right.
So what I've done is I've created a document where I've linked all of our usernames and passwords for our students, and they have to be logged into their school Google account to access the document. So that's, not allowing anyone that shouldn't be accessing it to access it.
Right.
So I've just created like a little screenshot here so you could see, and as you can see, I've blacked out the usernames and passwords. But then I've also created videos that walk the students through, because mostly I'll get with the teachers and I'll actually lead their classes through using it the first time and support them while they're using it the first, even second or third time. However, whenever the teacher needs me, I'm there.
Right.
But lead them through how to access the database, how to use it, how you can limit your resources, refine what you need. But I know right now, especially, we have kids that are at home doing the same thing. And even though I can do a Google Meet with the class, there may be students that aren't present on that day, or maybe, I don't know, maybe I work with the class and then they go home and they say, oh no, Mrs. Schattle, she talked for 20 minutes on this and I don't remember what she said. I don't even know where to start. I don't know where to go.
Right.
So I've created help videos that walk them through the same thing that I presented in their class. So if they ever forget, I don't know about y'all, but when I go to YouTube to figure out how to do something, I probably watch whatever video it is that's going to teach me how to do it at least 3 to 5 times.
Yes, absolutely.
So I want to provide that same level of support for our kids. Mm-hmm. So that's what I've chosen to do.
Yes.
As librarians, we collaborate with our teachers. Mm-hmm. And how do we do that? So we do that in a number of ways, face-to-face and virtually. And I really love this. Actually, we're wearing shirts that say it. You can't see it. Libraries can do virtually anything because we can.
Absolutely. Yes. And I was on Twitter, and their Mesquite ISD, their director was saying, so many of the librarians were apologizing because they were not doing librarian things. Well, the role of the librarian goes outside of just books, so if you are having to do tech things and help your teachers with things, and you are doing librarian things, so it's all good. So as Mr. Bonner was talking about, one thing I loved that I've been trying to get one of my 5th grade teachers to do was how he used social media to, integrate into his lesson. And so that is something that you can do in your school libraries as well. And one thing that we gave a couple of options or a couple of examples in our slide deck. The first one is Adobe Spark, which I personally absolutely love. It's just wonderful. And you can use that to make vlogs, to make videos, to make posts, flyers, all sorts of things. And we have a couple of examples, and you don't have to click on them, Misty. Linked in the slide deck. So that's Spark. You want to talk about
Pinterest? As far as Pinterest goes, like, you can create a board for anything. When I was at the elementary level, I had a board for every single makerspace that I would do, so that I could look and see what would be good ideas for makerspaces. I will show you this because this is just my personal little passion that I absolutely love. In my free time, this is what I do. I am like a crafting junkie. And so I know there are going to be some librarians cringing right now, but there are some books that nobody is ever going to touch again. So why not give these books new life? So this is my books reinvented board that has projects that I've done. Well, these aren't my exact projects, but like this turkey, I made this turkey once. Okay, so I have a turkey that looks like this that I usually put out at Thanksgiving time. Other things that I say that I'm going to do. So maker spaces at the high school level. One makerspace I always wanted to do and never have been able to because of timing and testing and everything that happens. I want to do like a book accessories project. Like makerspace where you make things at prom, like prom time, prom accessories all made from books. Okay. Anyone? Yeah, I think it would be a lot of fun. So, there's any number of things that you can do. And Pinterest, let Pinterest help you. Christmas one year, all the bows were made out of old book pages. Yeah. Yep, that's what I did. So, have fun with what you're doing. There's no reason why you shouldn't. Screen recording, there's so many programs that you can use to screen record. There's a few linked here. If you click on the icon, there's just a few linked for you that you can take a look at. Some better than others. Some have great features. So just take a look if you need help with that.
Yes. And I want to go back to Pinterest. So I am not crafty at all. But one thing that my son did, and one thing that I've been encouraging our teachers to do, so we are using restorative practices on our campus. And you can use Pinterest as a way just to get to know your students, have them to create a board and put things in that they like, that they're interested in. And it's just another way for you to connect to your students. All right. And then we have the power of social media. And so your student, we are in the social media age. I don't even know why we have Generation X, Y, Z or anything like that. It should just be social media from here on out. So you want to use social media to your advantage because it is what your students are doing when they get home. Let me tell you, they're on YouTube all day. They're on Twitter, they're on TikTok, they're on all of that all the time. And so use that as an outreach tool, show your communities what you're doing, send out information through social media, whatever resource works best for your campuses. Some campus, their parents look more at Facebook than they do at Twitter, or more at Instagram than they do at, YouTube or anything like that. So use that because the power of social media is absolutely great.
To answer the question about Pinterest, yes, you have to sign into Pinterest. You have to have an account to use it. So that is the one constraint.
Yeah. It could be a homework assignment though. All right. And then we have Flipgrid. And again, Flipgrid can be used in lots of different ways. In the library, we use it for book talks, book reviews. We've used it as, showcasing Makerspace when we were out in the spring and we were doing virtual Makerspace, which we'll talk about a little bit more later on. We were asking our students to upload on Flipgrid what they were doing, how their makerspaces were going, and talking, through that critical thinking piece of how they created things. So Flipgrid is an awesome resource. And if you run out of ideas, they have the Flipgrid Disco where you can go in and you can search and you can use what is already there. It's awesome. All right. And then we have Padlet, which I think everybody is probably pretty familiar with. And you can use Padlet just as a way, for children to answer questions about things, to share discussions about, or post pictures of what they're doing or what they're reading and things like that. It's just a really easy resource to use.
Jamboard. So Jamboard is new to the Google suite of products that they have now, but have any of you, I don't know if any of you guys have ever used Jamboard, but it's really kind of a neat program that they have now. It's an interactive whiteboard. So you can turn any computer into an interactive whiteboard. So if you would like, you can click on the link at the bottom, and there's a little project for you to get to know how to use Jamboard. And it's a little bit involved. So if you would like to enter for a chance to win a prize that we once again would email to you, then you can click the link and you can follow the instructions that are on the first slide. You navigate through the slides with these arrows at the top. Okay, you can follow the instructions and name that book. Okay, you're gonna name book. Well, let me go back. You're going to name book covers. You're going to identify the book covers without titles on them. So that's just fun. Follow the instructions that are listed on the first slide, and then you would have your prize emailed to you. You have until 5 p.m. to complete this one today.
You got time, guys. You got
okay. So you've got some time because, yes, like I said, this is a little more involved of an activity.
Yeah.
So and completely it's your choice. So you can choose to do it or not. It's fine with me either way.
Yeah.
But Jamboard just, like I said, turns any computer that you have into an interactive whiteboard. It's really pretty cool. And then of course there's Canva. Canva is a great way for you to create.
I love Canva.
For you to create anything.
Everything.
Really.
Everything.
I love
invites, flyers, everything, slide decks, everything.
I went to the wrong. So here's an example of something that I created, maybe if it ever gets there. So I have most recently, I used Canva to advertise anything that I'm doing. Or if I decide that I'm going to display some books, I might create a quick poster that tells them, shows what their common link is. So most recently, so this is all about Mental Health Awareness Week. So, I just wanted to say, hey, we've got books that can help you if you're, needing help with mental health awareness. So that was fun. I like Canva. I use it a lot.
Yes, me too.
So librarians create innovative ways and experiences for students to experience the library. So during the spring, when we were at home, I created a lot of weekly videos where I would have like little makerspace projects for students. So the sound may not be great, but all it is a little bit of background music. And it's short. It's like a minute long.
And what did you use to make that video?
I used Apple Clips for these videos. Just on my iPhone. I did everything from my phone.
All right.
And I made my children do my work for me.
That's always fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we just created instruments in that video, which was fun. And in this video, we created a balloon car. And through the videos, I just told everyone what they needed at their home in order to create items. And then in the end, I showed actually what it should do if it works properly. Now, what I actually did not put in this video, but should have, the very first time I made this car, it was a total disaster. So I should have put that in there that, hey, maybe it doesn't work out the first time, but try again because it might, so it's not, everything doesn't happen just overnight. So that's one. Okay. Well, nobody needs to listen to it again.
Yep. All right.
Virtual makerspaces.
Yes.
Meredith.
Yeah. So again, in the spring, we were doing virtual makerspaces, and even now we're still doing it because, again, we still have students who are learning from home, and that's awesome. And so we want to reach all of our kids, both on campus and at home. And so a lot of librarians you might see out there, they're doing virtual makerspaces. They're posting videos from all of the STEAM components and beyond, honestly, and giving the students a way to still have the opportunity to create and to design and to critically think even on their own. And like I said, in the spring, I had those students, they did it. They did the virtual makerspace activity, and then they used Flipgrid to post and show me what they did and tell me about, their whole process of creating. And so this example was taken from Shannon McClintock Miller, but I know in my district, lots of librarians are taking, the bones of what she's done and creating it and making it their own. So that is something you can definitely do.
Online book clubs. I know in the spring, a lot of families, a lot of librarians were left saying, oh no, what do we do with our book clubs? How do we make this work? So you can have book clubs for students. I know we in the past at one of the schools I worked at, we actually had book clubs for staff where we would read the same books that we would read with students. And then we'd get together and talk about it. Well, you could do the same thing with your staff. You could have virtual book clubs with your staff. You could read professional books. I know typically my husband at his school has done this, and they always read professional books. But you also could do it with fiction books that would, be a way to help your teachers support their curriculum. So that could be kind of fun too, for you to read books that the students are reading. And sometimes that helps to broaden people's reading horizons, which is kind of nice. So what I love best about the ability to make your book club virtual is the ability to connect with authors. Okay, so this is my real life example. So I have a book club that's made up of girls that I grew up with. Yeah, we reconnected like 2 years ago, and that was like our big aha moment was, oh my gosh, we all love to read. Let's create a book club, because none of us were in one. So that's exactly what we did. So of course, me being, the young adult librarian that I am, said, okay, well, I really think that we need to read X, Y, and Z books because I already have them, and this is a great place to start. So the very first book that we read for our book club was called Piper Parish by Kayla Kagan, which I absolutely loved. It takes things, so the great thing about Kayla Kagan is she grew up in Houston. So it was like, okay, this is great. Like she knows what we're going through. She knows this hot Texas heat. And it was like during the summer. So I, of course, do what I did and go to, anytime I like a book, I tweet about it. And then I always try to connect with the author. Well, Kayla Kagan is so amazing that she tweeted back and said, oh my goodness, this is so great. I love that your book club is reading this. If you want me to Skype with you, I'll be happy to do that. So our very first book club meeting, she Skyped with us, which, I mean, yeah, it was absolutely amazing. And then she even offered to, she said, oh, connect me to the librarians that you know in your district, and I'll be happy to I'll be happy to Skype with their, students as well. So, I mean, this is someone I had, I did meet her. I met her at TLA one year, and she signed a book for me, which was really cool. But so then it's just a way to really to meet people. And now like Kayla Kagan follows me on Twitter, and I follow her, and it's, like we reconnect. I feel like we're best friends.
Yes.
We don't really know each other, but I feel like we're besties. So that's kind of cool. You never know who you're going to meet and connect with through your online book clubs and through the power of social media. So definitely hold on to that.
Yes. And I see that Tanya said that they used Harry Potter for her book club. And Rashida, I would love to collaborate with you and see how you're going to be doing your book club and see what things we can come up with together. And so last year in our district, we do name that book club. And so the book club, we were reading Wedgie and Gizmo. And the kids were making their own houses for Wedgie and Gizmo, because in that story, the little boy who has, the little hamster, he puts him in his sister's dollhouse. And we were like, he don't want to live in a dollhouse, so we're going to make our own. And we made it with Legos. And we ended up tweeting it out. And the author, Suzanne Selfers, she tweeted about it. She retweeted and commented about it, and the kids were all excited. And then she ended up emailing me some more questions and ideas that we could do with her book. So it was awesome. So again, the power of social media, guys. You have to use it. You never know who you connect with. And if you're lucky, you get a Skype visit like Misty and you get a new friend. So put it out there to the universe and see what comes back. It's awesome.
Hi, ladies. Just want to interrupt for a second. We have about 8 minutes left, or 7 minutes. So just wanted to let you know.
Yes.
So we are right on track because we're ready for questions.
And Jamie did just say that Roseanne Perry, the author of A Wolf Called Wander, which is a new award-winning book, she has a great virtual author visit for free. So that's a good resource. Thank you for sharing that. Any questions?
I didn't see any questions in the chat, ladies. I guess you did a great job, Meredith and Misty. Lots of kudos. They love the PebbleGo, the resources. So thanks for refreshing our memory, because like someone said, teachers are so busy. So it helps to have those reminders. Absolutely. And we may need the bit.ly again. Someone did ask if we could repost the bit.ly, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Let me find that.
I'm putting it there. I got it.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah. I'm sending it to you, and if you can share it out, that's great.
I'm getting it.
Oh, you're fine. Thank you for your help.
Yes.
Thank you.
There's the bit.ly. It's coming up in the chat. And I'm going to go ahead and put the super secret word up there. So, and if anyone else has any questions, just please post them in the chat and we'll get them asked for you.
We have included for you guys, one more thing we want you to do.
Yes.
for a chance to win another prize.
Another prize.
Yeah, if you'll go over to Twitter and just tweet one takeaway or aha moment you had from our session, be sure you use the hashtag hashtag Beyond Your Library and hashtag TCCA 2020.
You have to use both.
Yes, both.
Yes, both.
And if you need our contact information, it is located right there for you. Be sure anytime you need any questions you have, reach out. You can reach out via Twitter or email. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Anything that I can help you with, I'm happy to do that, and Meredith as well.
Absolutely.
So,
yay. Thank you, Tanya.
Well, thank you so much to Misty and Meredith to coming to TCCA today and sharing all these wonderful ideas. I know we have some things to take away and take back to our libraries and use. So thank you, ladies, very much. I appreciate it.
thank you for having us.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. And the super secret word today is learn. And for your certificate, it is with a capital L, so it is case sensitive. So be sure to write that down and use it to get your certificate. And thank you all for joining TCCA 2020 today.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, we're gonna start removing people from the stream here. And then, okay. All right, ladies.